I'm for a quickie. I wanted that reaction. It's a Zatsu. We got two things to talk about today. First, we're going to be talking about, well, Chewy wants to talk about some children's cartoons. So, Chewy, talk about it.
Wow, maybe you should go first because I'm going to be playing guitar, you little bastard.
Just talk about your fucking children's cartoon.
No, you go ahead because I have to do stuff before we end this, so go ahead.
You're the one who said it was okay to record this!
Yeah, but I also said I wanted to squeeze in some practice, or you go ahead.
Then why don't you just not record it and you go squeeze in some practice?
Because I told you I could squeeze it in while you were talking.
Well, I want you to talk about your stuff first, as we always lead with me.
No, we don't. We talk
about the time we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, whatever. Just talk about your cartoons.
No, you go ahead. I can end it.
Yay. Well, whatever. Since Chewy's being an anal little bitch, I guess I'll lead. So, Chewy, I have a question.
Yes?
Fuck production teams.
Okay.
But especially, fuck production teams that lie.
I heard about that one. That was really weird.
Yeah, so Uncle from Another World, it had a delay early in its timeline, right? And it was immediately blamed on COVID-19. And you know what? That could make sense. I mean, COVID-19 at the time was still affecting Japan pretty heavily, right?
I mean, it's still kind of right now.
Well, I mean,
the numbers have dropped, but the numbers are still there.
They're getting a hang of it, right? So,
yeah.
It's not a disaster. But anyway, as I was about to say, when that announcement came up, I believe it was for episode 4 got delayed, everyone was just like, okay, it happens, but let's move on. Then episode 8 got delayed, and the rest of the series got delayed indefinitely. Essentially, they took a summer show and turned it into a fall show. And the reason was COVID-19, right? And again, I want to state,
originally,
it is very likely that COVID-19 did play a part. But you want to know why COVID-19 most likely played a part? The studio seemingly refused to do external help.
They refused external help to do it?
They were doing... So, we had a director who was quoted as saying he was penned to direct the episode 10 of Isekai Oji-san, right?
Yeah.
It seems, but he was decided not to because it seemed the animation staff, well, still wasn't there. And apparently, according to him, only in-house staff will proceed. So essentially what they're saying is we're only going to do this in-house. Which is quite different because most, if not all, anime are done with external help. I mean, we know KU, the guy behind Holocure. He's a professional animator who worked on stuff like Mushoku Tensei.
That's cool.
Yeah. But like he's not part of a studio. He's a freelancer from what I know.
Yeah, and hiring freelancers is still common, so.
Yeah, and do they get paid well? Absolutely not, but that's a story for a whole other day.
Yeah, it's hard to get into studios and actually get paid an okay amount type of thing. I think I will at least acknowledge the fact that there are some studios trying. Remember I believe it was a couple months ago when like a bunch of studios have banded together to make, better pay options. Is that or is there like an actual union that was made?
Well, just the pay rate for studios it's fucking awful.
No, yeah, it's really as bad.
Yeah.
Even when you get hired as a full-time animator.
Mm-hmm. But no, so it was good to hear that, right? So, you know, they have gotten. It's one of those things where at least you are acknowledging a problem, right? So you have to find a way to take a step forward somehow. Now, what I will say, though, is that the issues and the scariness from this is that this just feels wrong on so many levels, because not only is it an issue that was avoidable, they're scapegoating COVID.
Yeah. Still putting it at the blame on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's the door. Oops.
Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, I'll be in the background here and doing something then.
That's where the issue comes in. It's like they're running away from the problem, right? So here's the thing. The director who left production at the very last moment rightfully blamed their complete inability to provide external staff members to get their episode made, right? So that's what I said. Essentially, the director left because this studio is doing nothing in-house.
Yeah.
Not nothing in-house, out of house.
Out of house. Okay, yeah.
So it's just insane to me, right? Because as KVN points out, to hide behind the truth, right? They just use COVID as an excuse. And it's not to say that COVID probably hasn't played a factor, right? But just when you actually look deep in it, this was a issue building before COVID took over for them. And it just shows how fucked up production has gotten for a lot of anime studios. I mean, I mentioned before during the reviews, Classroom of the Elite.
Oops.
It had such bad production, they delayed the Blu-rays for the season.
Oops.
Like, that's just hilarious.
Silly.
And then let's not forget the Netflix red bars of death for this one. And it's just Classroom of the Elite, Isekai Oji's son are just sad situations.
That is sad.
But it kind of reminds me of something. So there was an anime in 2016 called Regalia: The Three Sacred Stars.
That sounds familiar.
It was an original anime, right? That was set to broadcast in the summer of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It was licensed by Funimation. It was made by Studio Actus.
I feel like I know this one.
So Studio Actus are people behind the likes of Girls und Panzer. So, like, their highest scoring animes are the Girls und Panzer movies. They actually did Princess Principal, which is actually very good. I've watched it. Okay. And other than that, the other major thing is they did Mazenkaiser. And that's pretty much it. So, like, they haven't done much. But when they have hit, they have hit. So, like, Girls und Panzer, really good.
Hmm.
This show suffered the same fate as you know what? Isekai Oji-san.
Okay, yeah.
It started in the summer 2016, and it was such a fucking train wreck that they literally admitted we need to halt the show until September 29th to allow us to improve the series.
Oh.
Like, straight up, after episode 4 was such a disaster production rise, they said, you know what? We just need to stop right here. and just redo everything.
Oh, everything. Oh.
Yeah.
Did they?
So
wait. So they just.
They needed to improve everything.
Oh,
like episode
improved.
1 through 4.
Okay, so they didn't just like stop.
Oh, I wish they did.
Retconned
I wish. I
retconned?
fucking wish they did. But no, straight up, they just. It was a disaster of epic proportions because.
Oh, they
again,
actually started from episode 1 again. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, this show aired 4 episodes, and everybody looked at it like this is garbage. And I remember watching it, and it was bad. But yeah, no. So that's what I
recognize on here. It's kind of crazy.
So that's what I came back to when I was thinking of Uncle from Another World.
Thanks.
And of course, you know who was part of the, who was one of the people behind it? Bandai Namco.
Bandai.
But yeah, no, that's just what I want to talk about. I could talk about how Bleach is becoming a fucking disaster.
Go on. You can keep going.
I mean, I think we finally know who it is yet. We know it's not Crunchyroll since Crunchyroll removed everything.
Yes.
We're hearing that it is going to be simulcast. It's going to be streamed on Disney Plus, Hulu, and Amazon.
Oh, this person played freaking Korobani out as well. Yeah.
Now the problem is we don't know if it's going to be simulcast.
No.
Yeah, so Crunchyroll has officially lost the rights, and
it sucks.
We are hearing the report that it is going to be Disney Plus, and it's going to be Hulu.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And by the way, it's set to premiere in 8 days. Yeah. Alrighty. Talk about your children's cartoon.
Wow, it's not children's. Fuck you, bitch.
Well, I mean, it pretty much is.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you.
Well, what else would it be?
Well, look, I'm just reminiscing about the days where there's, some more, how should I say, I guess not so intelligent, insulting type of cartoons. Sure, okay, yeah, this probably was directed more around kids, to be quite honest, but the thing is, like, okay, I'm talking about Justice League. I'm talking about Justice League and the Superman animated series. Was it? Yeah, it was 2 Superman animated series. I think Batman the animated series as well. Beforehand that, and Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Like, that was, I think that, and there was like a whole bunch of other ones, but around that era, it's like they didn't care that they were putting this stuff out. They were putting out such intricate yet emotional, how should I say, mature type of content in a sense that was not insulting to kids. And I miss those days. Even though now, yeah, I understand there's like, if it's not your, if it's not your whatchamacallit, then, you're not your jive, then just don't watch it. There's other people that will enjoy it. That's totally fine. Because, it's still directed at kids. As long as kids are having fun and they're being, whatever, taught stuff, I guess. Good lessons, morals, ethics, I don't know. I guess being woke. But I'm just saying, I miss the days of freaking Justice League. Or
I don't know why when you
DC
mention Justice League, the first thing that pops to my head is Teen Titans.
Yeah, Teen Titans too. Yeah, Teen Titans is actually fairly, even though it was kooky, and it's still like the designs were,
emphasis on kooky,
or whatchamacallit. it's still, well, I guess they were more closer to, I would say more of an Eastern style, a little bit like almost Japanese manga-ish. But I don't know, it still wasn't an insult to like kids' freaking intelligence. You know? Like, by all means, there's like sequels and stuff. There's like Teen Titans Go and stuff like that, and whatever. They're funny in their own right. They got their own charms and stuff. But I just kind of miss the old sort of like. It's not really like black and white, but it's more like, people, I don't know, superhero type of theme-ish, but like facing their problems type thing.
I'm trying to ask what you're thinking, because I don't think cartoons have really changed all that much.
Really? I don't know. I feel there was an intricacy with like Teen Titans and like the old ones and Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Like, I learned Latin from fucking Justice League. I don't know about you, but I learned Latin from Justice League and freaking Unlimited.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. If that was something that I came away from a show, I'd be like wondering what the fuck the show actually was about.
It's about fucking superheroes that sometimes are more human than the rest of us. I don't know. It was just a really well designed show, honestly. Like, originally I believe this like branched out from, again, Batman the animated series and Superman, I think, the animated series. And like, forget his name. Was it Kevin? Oh my god. The guy who voices Batman is such an icon for it. And like the people that did like Wonder Woman, Superman. Oh, I just don't remember their names. I was like Kevin something. And like, I can't think of anyone else when I see these superhero icons now that I can't hear anyone else's voices because they're so.
You must be broken mentally if those are the first that come to your mind.
Honestly, they're so good. Kevin Conroy, there we go. Like, it's so well done, Marcel. Mark Hamill is the Joker. Like, was a Michael Rosenbaum? It was like, I think the guy who's like from.
I'm sorry. The only person you will ever hear of Batman is either Adam West or Christian Bale.
Look, I like them too, but I think that's more like live action. If I see a picture of Batman itself there, or Batman animated or something, I'm sorry, I'm thinking Kevin Conroy voice first.
Yeah, because that's animated. But if you're thinking of that for like Batman in general, then man, I think you need help.
What is tell me then, what is the origin of Batman, Marcel? Like what was the original? Yes, it was our comic book. Like, when I look at comic books and stuff and the animation and pictures and stuff for Batman, I'm gonna think Kevin Conroy because I have his voice in my head. That's it.
I think you need help if you think that.
Well, sorry if you hear anyone else's, like, that's totally fine, but like, again, I hear Kevin Conroy and I think his voice is amazing for that. It's just,
yeah, I'd consider that maybe 8th or 9th. I just think when you think about Batman, you think about Adam West, you think about Christian Bale, you think about so many people before him, because those are more iconic than kids' TV shows.
I don't know. Maybe that's nostalgia factor pumped in there as well, but I don't quite agree. I think it's fine that anyone could look at that, like if they grew up with Adam West or they grew up just watching Christian Bale, but
even growing up, it's just iconic
what?
Is more. You're gonna get more things when you actually see him. When I watch a cartoon, I think, oh, that's a cool cartoon.
Okay. So when you see, like, say, when you see Kirito, whose voice do you hear?
I hear Kirito.
Yeah, that's just how it is with
Plus,
me.
plus, you're also saying whose voice do you hear? Kirito's only had one voice actor.
Yeah, but he also has. Didn't they have like live action whatever plays for?
No, there's never been a live action SAO.
Let's see. Okay, well, that might have been a poor example. But things like, say, didn't Haikyuu have a live action now?
Sure, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, but like, whose voice do you see or hear though? And it's like when you see Hinata or something like that, right?
Well, the only voice I've ever heard of Hinata.
Well, again, I guess it's because again, it's like live action to just a picture or whatever. But okay. No, again, I don't know. I don't know
like,
why.
I will agree. Kevin Conroy did a fabulous job. He voiced the game in he voiced Batman in Batman Arkham and the Injustice. Great job. He's nowhere near the first person I think when think Batman.
I'm not saying he's the first person that you hear. It's the first person I hear.
I don't know how you can think that when there's more iconic stuff out there, though, is what I'm saying.
No, for me, honestly, his performance is incredible. And I like the fact that I grew up. I think it's, again, partly because of nostalgia and maybe partly because I grew up with the fact that like watching Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. There was another guy who, what was in like Young Justice, whose Batman wasn't too bad, but I still hear Kevin Conroy most of the time in my head when I think like how.
I think we need to check what's in your head.
No, I don't see what's wrong with it. It's just it's such a great performance. Honestly, I don't know. Like Michael Rosenbaum is Wally West, George Newbern is Superman, Susan Eisenberg is Wonder Woman, Maria Canais Ferreira is Hawk Girl, I think her name, Phil Lamar.
I didn't realize Val Kilmer played Batman.
Yeah. And Mark Hamill is the Joker. Like, come on. Mark Hamill
as the Joker is iconic.
Yeah.
This is how Heath Ledger was.
Yeah. Like, wait, I don't understand how you think Mark Hamill is iconic through his voice as the Joker, but like Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman is not iconic. I don't know.
Because I enjoy Mark Hamill a lot more.
Okay, well, there you go. Opinionated. Boom.
Okay.
Maybe that's part of it too, Marcel.
I also just don't think how you can consider Kevin Conroy anywhere near Christian Bale.
Well, I don't know. It's just like.
Hell, I've even heard Robert Pattinson did a good job.
I don't know. It's just the voice acting performance is good. Really good. And it stuck with me. So I don't know. When I look at Christian Bale too, I also remember other stuff, but honestly, one movie was not enough for me. Or two.
But he was in three.
No, he was in 3 movies.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I never really watched the first one. I think I caught little bits of it. But like Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, for how corny they could be, and they were still really good. And I don't think we will ever see a Batman that's able, as Christopher Nolan put it, find the balance of dark and light that we are looking for.
As just Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I am interested to watch the Robert Pattinson one. I am a little surprised it's getting as good reviews as it did.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know still how to say it, but it's basically no. I miss kind of the days of like those classics and watching basically DC Universe, which was a really good like again, Justice League I think did a phenomenal job of world building, and then Justice League Unlimited built even more on top of it when they brought in more characters to the main cast. And even though you didn't like, they weren't as, probably not all the performances were as how to say, memorable or.
So essentially, what you were just saying is I miss cartoons from the 90s.
90s. This was like the 2000s, man.
That was 99. Anyway, like.
No. 2000s. No, I kind of miss that kind of feel where they, they put more thought into it. Well, not more thought. No, not more thought. Sorry.
Well, do you even watch cartoons now?
Yeah. No, I watched a bit of it, and I see that some of them actually have some pretty interesting stories, like, Gravity Falls. What? There was... Oh, that was a weird train one. That was interesting. I never really got too far into it.
Well, let's end it on this one then, because I think this one is kind of poetic.
Okay.
Sonic Boom.
Oh. Well.
Like, Sonic Boom, the game, piece of shit.
You could just break it by doing the weird, like, Knuckles float thing, which they make
Sonic
reference
Boom,
to as well in Sonic Boom.
The show? I have watched highlights of it. Generally, fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny, it's clever. Eggman is a riot.
Because they do it in the sense that's like, well, they don't take themselves very seriously with that type of thing, and they're kind of making fun of the. They make a lot of jabs at everything. But to me, I look
back and I say, what's different from like old school SpongeBob, right?
Well, SpongeBob was more pick a theme, let's run kind of crazy with it.
But like, it still comes in with the same.
When you're older, then
it comes in with the same respect there, right?
What?
It's not something that'll take itself too seriously. It has a little fun.
SpongeBob never took itself seriously, but yeah, no. But somehow,
like I watched this thing called Knuckles being the best character in Sonic Boom, and I just sit there and say to myself, man, if the game had this writing, I'd actually think it's a good game.
Really? You would think more of a slapstick sort of comedic take would be more funny of an actual game.
I'm just so sick and tired of Sonic being like, oh, super serious, super that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's got to be like a good balance, I find. Yeah. But if you just want to straight up slap the game, I don't know what that game will be in the end, honestly.
Oh, it's just, this is a quick tangent.
Racing game in the end?
I just find Sonic to be just the most bullshit series ever, man.
Wait, wasn't Sonic Adventure 2 pretty much just so like over the top?
Sonic Adventure 2 is a piece of shit.
Sonic
Have
Adventure
you 2... seen how that game plays?
Was it Sonic Adventure 2?
Sonic Adventure 2 had not the Knuckles plot, the shadow plot where he was trying to destroy the world because he misunderstood what his dead friend wanted.
Oh yeah, this is the one where, yeah, Dark Hero type of whatever thing.
Yeah. And it's just, man, I'm so sick and tired of Sonic games just having these over-the-top evil, just like, we are edgy for the sake of edgy. Like, remember Sonic Forces?
Sonic Forces?
Yeah, it was a piece of shit game that came out a couple years ago.
Was that the one where you could customize the...
Yeah, you have the OC, weaponize the OC. Mm-hmm. And I look at it, I just say to myself, man, there's like, this is war and what. I'm just sitting there just like, fuck off. I just want to sit there and enjoy a game, right?
I see, yeah. Though I thought Sonic Adventure 2 was kind of over the top and being a little bit funny at times anyways, because wasn't there,
every Sonic game has those comedic moments because that's just Sonic's character.
Wasn't there, I mean, sure, but like, wasn't there a level where a freaking truck chased after Sonic and it turned out to be like the Eggman thing, and it's just like so
That was that
over.
first level.
Yeah, the first one. It was like going on the sides of like buildings and stuff, and it was just so over the top. Like I couldn't help but laugh sometimes.
Sure. But again, there's action. But again, the story still ended up being this dark, despair-inducing one where children are dead, and it's just like Sonic is this, and it's just like, fuck off.
Okay, and so in the end, you think based off that the Sonic series should be more of have a little levity.
Have you not seen like most of the Sonic games? Sonic 06, Sonic Forces, Sonic Boom.
Wasn't Sonic Mania?
Sonic Mania was good, but that's because they went back to their roots of just like
retro
a 2D platformer.
Yeah. And now that you have Sonic Frontier, which is very, very weird.
I'm
Breath of the Wild meets Sonic.
I get this feel. I just want Sonic to die. I'm so sick and tired of it just flopping out.
Whoa, Magni, Desmond is not here in the don't listen to him. Don't listen. No, okay.
Anyway.
But no, I don't know.
Thank God the movies are good, and thank God Corone's a great sponsor.
Yeah, okay. But
apparently Corone's having a cafe collaboration with them.
Oh, that's cool.
And I also remember Corone's getting a concert produced by the Sega Sound team.
Yeah. That was announced a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was announced when Corone was first revealed as the
Sonic outfit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's where I'm going to end it here. I'm just tired of Sonic. I want a Sonic game that doesn't take itself seriously.
I like how I went from Sonic TV series and just Sonic games are bad.
I hate Sonic, man. I generally just look at it as it's sad because it used to be the Mario rival.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It used to be this awesome franchise that could look at it and say, okay, this is a good secondary. If people don't want Mario, they got Sonic. Now if people don't want Mario, well, you're fucked because Sonic's terrible.
So you go play hentai games or something.
Sure. I think that's a great way to end it. This has been the latest Zatsu.
Wow, okay. I was gonna say Justice League and this is like a good balance, but alright, this is like the Marvel.
You just did.
It's like the Marvel Studios of animated DC stuff.
Oh.
Whereas the animated Marvel stuff wasn't that great.
It's been the latest Zatsu.
And the DC real.
We're gonna have a Zatsu next week or the next time we record, which is probably this weekend, where we're gonna be talking about sports.
I just want more TV shows like Justice League, okay?
Well, you got that in anime. Anyway, because it's about time me and Chewy talk about our passion about raging about the NBA and its bullshit.
Oh, we're actually talking about it. Okay.
I want to bring up a topic to you next week, Chewy. The 2016 NBA free agency class.
The 2016? What?
Yes.
Oh, 2016. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
The Durant free agency class.
Wait, the one where he went to the Warriors?
It's not just that. The one where players like Tony Snell got fucking millions of dollars.
And still played trash.
Yep. You said Zatsu, we could talk about anything. Let's finally talk about the NBA.
Okay.
So the Zatsu topic next week is going to be talking about the piece of shit NBA class of 2016.
Oh, not free agency.
Free agency, yes.
Oh, it's free agency and draft class.
Oh, we can talk about the draft class if we want, but we'll talk about the free agency. Because here's a fun fact. The free agency class of 2016 was so bad that the NBA salary cap dropped $10 million.
We might as well look at some NBA trivia too while we're at it.
Oh, like that free agency class was so bad because people like Miles Plumlee
got
$9.5 million a year,
which was considered a lot back then, guys.
Here, wasn't considered a lot with how much they threw around.
Pretty good for rookie.
CHEWY, Tony Snell got $10 million.
Was that a rookie, Miles Plumlee?
Miles Plumlee in 2016 when he averaged 5.5 points. Let's see.
Oh, okay, never mind. Was he just free agent then?
Yeah, it was just a free agent. So in 2016, Miles Plumlee
back 2016,
when he got paid, right?
Okay, are we gonna talk it now, or are we gonna talk it next time?
Well, I'm just gonna give you a hint, right? Okay. When he got paid by the Milwaukee Bucks, he averaged about 5 points a game.
Rebounds?
He got $9.5 million.
What about rebounds?
I don't know rebounds. It was maybe 2. Let's see. I'll pull it up.
It was 2. That's really sad.
He averaged...
Yeah, at least like average 10 or something, or 9.
3.8 rebounds.
Wow. Okay,
the year before, it was 3.2 points per game, 2.5 rebounds.
Okay. We're going to be talking about random NBA facts.
The reason I bring this up is Miles Plumlee made $9.5 million a year.
We're still
Connor McDavid, the best player in the NHL, one of the best players ever. His salary is $9.5 million. Good night, everybody.
I wonder what like the average amount of times an NBA player has cheated on their spouse. Goodbye.